Dun, 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 dun.
Hello and welcome to the Be True to You series. I am your host, Kimberly Rochelle, the CEO and founder of Positively Kimberly. I'm a public figure and author, and of course, an energy and mentality trainer. I'm also an earth fairy. I like to spread sparkles wherever I go. I'm kind of a badass, and I like to have a lot of fun wherever I go. In this amazing series, I get to meet with the most beautiful and amazing people in the entire world and figure out what makes them so unique, what makes them so awesome. Today, I have the pleasure of meeting with Miss Stacey. How do I say your last name?
Diodato.
Oh, I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have said Diodato.
It's okay. No one knows how to say it. It's very.
I just call you Stacey. That's all I call you. So, how are you today, Stacey?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm really good. I've known Miss Stacey probably for a couple of months now, but we hit it off right away because we're like soul sisters.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just, I don't know. We vibe.
We did, definitely. You're always smiling every time I see you. What brings you the most joy?
Um, I think my mornings, because it's kind of like my me time before the world wakes up. I'm an old lady, so I go to bed at 8:30. But I wake up early and I like to watch the sunrise and make breakfast and have my coffee. So I love my mornings.
I absolutely love that. I haven't had a good sunrise in quite some time, but I'm usually in bed by 8:30 too.
Yeah, I mean,
I also like old candy.
I don't know
Like
what
butterscotches.
candy, but just the going to bed at 8:30. All of my friends are like, Stacey, you are not 102. You're 22. Like, you could stay up to maybe 10 o'clock. I'm like, no, it's bedtime.
Have you had one really defining moment in your life?
I think it's finding gratitude in the not so glamorous moments, like the not so happy moments. So I guess like an example is I was going to college for business, thinking that was going to be the thing, even though I knew I didn't want to do it. It was kind of like my family wants me to go to school, the town I go to school wants me to go to college, so it's what I should do. But when I was literally failing everything and I left and I went to cosmetology school, I think that was the moment that I just began living for me and not others. So it was a bad time, but it was a good turning moment.
That makes a lot of sense. Sometimes you have to go through that bad stuff in order to find who you really are, and it sounds like you did.
Yes.
What kind of big obstacles did you have to overcome? I'm sure you've had a lot with everybody wanting you to do one thing and then you wanting to do something else.
Oh my goodness, literally everything. So in the time that I was dropping out of school, I was also in a really toxic relationship. So I was failing school because I wasn't going to classes for this person. Um, but I also wouldn't have failed school to go to cosmetology school if I didn't meet them, right? But then leaving them meant I had to kind of relearn who I am, what I liked, what I didn't like, what I wanted, who I wanted to be, and just like relearning myself because that just like ruined me 100%, which is crazy, but it brought me here. So grateful.
Well, what do you consider some of your biggest talents and some of your biggest strengths?
I think I am just a beauty activator in the sense that I inspire everyone to be their best inside and out. And that just always comes to mind, like beauty through the inside out, um, through beauty products, salon services, just making people feel good and look good and making them be confident and just fall back in love with themselves. And I do it without even thinking, right? And I do it without even saying anything. Like it just kind of happens when you're in my presence, which is cool.
It's so true. I even put blush on for Stacey today.
Yeah.
I was like, Stacey's always pretty. Let me get some pretty. How has that really shaped you into being the person that you are right now?
I think I just learned to live my truth, speak my truth, and live it up, right? Because you could do something for other people, but that's never going to make you happy. And the second you do things for you because you want to, it's like this unlimited sense of happiness and confidence. And just people realize it. And it's so funny. People realize it and they go, "You're confident." And I'm like, "Well, thank you. Yes, I am." And they go, "I've never met anyone like you." And I'm like, "Well, hello. It's me." I don't know. It's so crazy what that does.
It's crazy because you own your own business now, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's so cool. I love that you've kind of just branched out and really found your own and developed this whole thing for yourself.
I mean, it's even like more chaotic and crazy because it's what I've always wanted to do and I've known that, but I've kind of like beat around the bush following the steps like, okay, go to business school, graduate, then go to cosmetology school, then work, and then open business. But I was like, but I want business now. So it killed me going through the motions and going through the steps because if I could have done this when I was 16, I probably would have. But that's like so crazy. But that's just me. Like, it's thriving and it's great, but I want more. And so what the future holds, the future holds. But yeah, it's just so crazy.
Well, what advice can you give someone that might watch this and, I don't know, maybe they're doing whatever their parents are telling them to do or not living for themselves just yet?
I'd say do what makes you happy, right? Money will come. People will respect you more for doing what you love, right? So I worked at a salon thinking it was going to be the end all be all. So many famous people came, which is true. I've met tons of famous people. They're in my Facebook. I feel like I'm famous by association, technically. Maybe, I don't know. But I stayed there thinking it was the end all be all, but the way they treated me didn't make it worth it, right? The way they spoke to me didn't make it worth it. So, and I wasn't like happy. It was a chore, right? So I say just do what makes you happy and money will come. And the saying of like, you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. But the fact of the matter is that you work harder, but it doesn't feel like work.
Definitely. It seems like that's really given you a lot of self-respect having to, deal with all those people that didn't treat you as well as you would have.
I mean, I just learned to not give a fuck what people say. Can I swear? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can swear. I don't care.
Okay. I just learned to like literally not give a fuck because so many people told me, no, do this, or you'll never be good at this, do something else, or you could stay in full towels forever. But like, what the fuck? I want to own a salon. That's not going to get me anywhere. And even just being in relationships with awful, awful people who tell you that like you're good for nothing, can do nothing, have no one, and like are just awful. Like, hell no, 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 not me, no. So I don't know. I just learned to do what makes me happy because that's what's going to get me where I want to go.
I love that you're strong and you're such an embodiment of love and peace and happiness. You just make me so happy.
Yay! Oh my gosh, that's like what I try to aim for.
Well, you hit it, sister.
It comes in the moments of like where shit hits the fan hard. And then it's like, well, do I quit? Like, I have this saying and I have this joke that it would be so much easier to work for someone else. And I should just quit everything and be a burger flipper at McDonald's because that would be so much easier, right? I could make a living. I could make $12 an hour. Like, I could move out. It'll be great. But would that make me happy? No. So, like, it's hard now but it's also the process of like giving yourself grace and knowing that it's going to work out because it's your dream, right? It would be so evil and so cruel if you had these dreams and had these goals and like they meant nothing, like, and they weren't meant for you, right? If they were in your head and like they just didn't go anywhere. That's crazy to me just to think about that.
I know, I definitely agree. Do you have like a personal motto that gets you through all the tougher times?
Oh, I didn't answer this one. You sent me the question, so we're gonna out the podcast or video or where this is going. And I like left this blank because my motto changes. It changes with how I'm feeling. And I think the biggest thing is that like what matters now isn't really going to matter in 5 years, right? Like if I'm stressing that there's no clients coming into the salon, it's a global pandemic. That's like what my favorite excuse is right now, that like if it's not working, it's a pandemic, right? Like I'm doing everything I can, but like things are funky. Um, so my motto would just be like no nerves, like there's no stress because it's going to work out, and it just is because it is, right? And if it doesn't look like it is now, there's a reason, right? And it's going to like push you in a different path, but that's not a failure, it's just like a different path. So just no nerves, no stress, everything's good, it's all going to work out. But
Absolutely
I don't
love
know, that's the motto.
That's okay. Sometimes people really don't have mottos that they live by. I just think of one every once in a while. It's just like, you don't need a reason to be happy. You just need a reason to be sad. And that's something that I read in a book when I was in kindergarten. I just think about it every once in a while.
That's crazy. Because like there's nothing to be, I mean, there's everything to be happy about, but there's like, you don't oftentimes just be like, I'm happy. It's like, ooh, I'm sad because of this, you know? But like, no one thinks about the happy things.
Right. Well, you have a group that you allow people to come in and chat with you, don't you? Like a
Yeah,
Facebook group?
I have a Facebook group. It's called Beauty Activation, and I'm in there all the time. So if you want, you could come hang out with me in there. Um, and I'm just all over the place, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere.
And I'll put all of the links in the description so everyone can find you.
Okay, sure.
Thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure seeing you again. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
So I absolutely love Stacey. I seriously do. I am planning on traveling 21 hours. Yeah, I'm going to drive 21 hours to go see this woman so she can do my hair because it's so important for me as a lady to go to someone that you trust. And she's such a unique, vibrant energy, and she's so amazing, like in every way. And she's so uniquely herself, and she makes you feel good about yourself. So that's the kind of thing that I'm going to look for whenever I go get my hair done. And I definitely would recommend you reaching out to her and seeing if she has any availabilities for you to get your hair done too. Because one of the biggest takeaways that I got from this interview with her was don't work for someone else's dream, work for your own, right? Do whatever is going to make you happy and live your life to the fullest extent of your abilities because you only live once, so why the heck not, right? Well, I'll see you later, and remember to reach out to Miss Stacey on the links that are in the description. Bye.